Hey everyone, I'm Pacific the Casual Gamer, and welcome back to another video about my life and the coronavirus, I guess we'll call it, and how it's affecting me. Now, today's date is April 4th, 11:12 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 2020. So, I've been dealing with it pretty well, it's just kind of like, it's like any life change, you settle into it and, it just happens. You learn to deal with it, right? And I've been getting pretty good at dealing with it. Just like there's actually a really big change in my life, sort of. I really like pasta because it's cheap. It's slightly more expensive than ramen, but not nearly as bad for you, right? So I like cooking pasta a lot, and I use pasta as if I want to train myself to use some kind of different spice or oil or vegetable or something like that. I usually start with a pasta dish just because it's me. I make a joke one time. I bought like 10 boxes of pasta off Amazon because it gave me like enough of a discount to not have to go shopping for it. So I really, really like pasta. And the pastas that I like are not getting restocked. Toilet paper, like affordable toilet paper, is getting stocked more than my favorite types of pasta. I'm so sad. So I have resorted, like, there was my favorite flavor of ramen at the store, and I was like, okay, my pasta isn't here. I gotta get this ramen because I just really want it. And I'm still I have a little bit of a, shall we say, a stockpile of food, but nothing that's gonna last me. And pasta, it lasts forever, so I'm happy to just buy extra of it because I know I'm gonna eat it anyway. So it just kind of sucks that there's no pasta that I like to cook. I'm definitely more self-conscious about washing my hands and not touching my face. It's very weird. It's like I'll go to the store, right? And as soon as I touch the shopping cart and let's say like my face itches, I find myself thinking about, like, I stop myself from touching my face. It's I mean, I guess that's a good habit, I think. Yeah, that's a good habit. So, I don't really, it's not like I'm like, well, I can't touch my face. No, it's probably a habit that if this coronavirus lasts for as long as, it, like, really long, then it's just going to be a habit that I have and that I do. So I guess I'm healthier. I don't know, but it's just a thing that I noticed. Then I'm washing my hands after I come home. I used to think that my cousins, their mom made us do that every single time, and I'm like, all right, you were smart. There's some other things she did that were really, really dumb when it came to sanitation and health, but that was one of the few smart things that she actually did. Now, the last thing that I want to talk about is very near and dear to me, is critical thinking when it comes to this, right? Everybody knows someone, whether it's yourself or a family member, that if they catch this, they're one of those people that could die from it, right? Like, not just that, I don't know, really, really low percentage, like whether they're an old people or someone with asthma, we all know someone like that. So I've been very, very conscious of the people that I listen to when it comes to this, right? So let me give you an example. I follow some doctors and some social media, or not social media, doctors and scientists on YouTube and Instagram, right? If that doctor or scientist says something that, let's just say my sister says something else, and I'm using my sister as an example because she and I haven't talked about the coronavirus at all. So she's a good example because her and I have no history with this. So let's just say the doctors and scientists say something and she says something different that contradicts them. I'm going to believe them over her. And it's a, like, there's always those people that that you kind of listen to, and what they say is BS versus what they say is true. And I take that more serious now. If someone, I guess if you're watching this, I'm about to get political. Like, if someone says climate change isn't real, or this virus, they said the coronavirus can't kill anybody, or they say like I'm big into astronomy. They say like all astrophysics is a subjective science. If they say stuff like that that's not directly linked to the coronavirus, I'm not going to believe them if they tell me about coronavirus science because they've already shown that they can't understand other types of science, right? Even simple things like chemistry. I don't believe that atoms that small or, whatever. It's like, are you serious? Like, if you say that, I'm not going to believe a word you say about anything. And it's really made me think of those people that we know where they take information and only believe it if it follows their values, not if it's true or not. And I don't listen to those people anymore. I just don't, because yeah, it's different when maybe a politic or a law is on the line that really doesn't affect you. But when it's this type of virus that we don't have a fix for, and it could kill somebody, it's a lot more serious. So a lot of people that I know follow science that follows what they want to believe versus what is actually true. I don't listen to them about coronavirus. I just don't. It's not worth my time. And I know that they can't understand science as well as someone like a doctor or a scientist or someone in my, I guess, friend circle, family circle, social circle that I know understands science. Like, if my sister did talk about the coronavirus, she's pretty smart when it comes to, like, science. I'm gonna believe her because, she's just smart like that. But like I said, even though I know she's smarter than some other people in my social circle, if someone smarter than her says something, and this is all subjective who I judge as smart or not, right? I think everyone is kind of like, well, I believe this person or not. It's all subjective, right? If someone who I deem is smarter than my sister says something that contradicts what she says, I'm going to believe them. It's just how it is. So I noticed I'm doing that a lot more, and there's some other side effects to that as well. Like, it kind of hurts me to say this, but my life's improved because of it. I'm not listening to I'm not listening to people's bullshit anymore. I'm not. And I'm not even like toying with the idea that they are smarter, educated. It's like, because of this, it's become a hard yes or a hard no on whether I can trust somebody when it comes to talking about science. And if it's a hard no, then I don't even bother with talking about science with that person. We get into less arguments about it, right? Because just they subjectively don't know it, according to me, subjectively. So that's what I notice is, we don't talk about it. Or I know how to talk to people in a very neutral way. So I'll talk to them in a neutral way. I won't try to explore ideas with them because I know that their kind of understanding would be out of whack. So it's just caused less arguments. There's always those people that you don't really want to talk to certain things about. And it's just kind of reinforced, at least when it comes to science, hey, I'm not going to talk to you about this. I'm just not, And I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I know in the short term, like I said, I'm getting in less arguments and, just less frustrating conversations with people. I've also been kind of trying to think about long-term ramifications about my relationships, right? It's kind of easy to say, well, we're going to know more about the COVID virus. We're going to know more about viruses. We're going to develop new medical technologies. That's all easy, right? But what about my relationships? And I think that this habit of looking at someone and saying, I can't talk to you about science, and actually following that and following, I think it's going to bleed out into other things, right? Let's talk about YouTube, right? I'm not going to talk to my parents about how the video editing online and YouTube business works because, frankly, they don't understand anything about it. They have a rough understanding of the extreme basics of it. But, like, if I wanted to talk to my mom about audience retention, or my dad, who's older than my mom, it's not even worth it. We got to start lower. And it's just kind of, I think that's going to go out. And then if they have an opinion, I'm going to be like, look, you don't know what you're talking about. Even I noticed, just talking to my friends, I don't want to talk about Corona to them because we all just kind of know everything, so it's not really worth it to worry about it. You know, like my friend Forrest, all he has to do is I'll be like, hey, like this happened a couple weeks ago. You know, where he's texted all of us, right? I trust Forrest. He's pretty smart, and he goes, yeah, we're on like at 5 p.m. or something. The whole lockdown for only essential errands happens. I'm like, all right, cool. And then it's like, well, we don't need to talk about that again. Let's talk about this bullshit going on in Rainbow Six. You know, it's so long term. I think when it comes to talking to people, I will be, since I'm already doing this now and it's having positive results, I will be continue doing this thing where I look at someone and I'm like, can I really trust you on your opinion about science, about politics? Or are you someone that only listens to science or politics and only listens to what they want to hear versus what is actually going on, you know? And I think that that's going to have a greater impact on, I guess, just how I act and live, who I talk to and who I don't talk to, you know? And it's already been a little bit of a preview with that with video editing, because when it comes to freelance video editing, you know, with these business relationships, when I talk to people, like I know that someone I know who owns a media company, I can talk to him about uh, video editing, and he has probably a pretty good opinion on it, you know? Or I can talk to someone who's a gamer about, you know, what their next video game's going to be, what they maybe want, what they have suggestions for me to play, you know? Like it's weird, and I I don't know if it's going to be positive long term, but we'll have to wait and see. So that's about it. A little bit longer video, a little bit on the rambly side, but I wanted to share this with you guys today because I just noticed it going on, and it's very interesting to me. So, what do you guys think about it in the comments below? Do you notice that with other people that you are starting to be a little bit more stricter on the people that you actually listen to when it comes to coronavirus information? You know, I am very heavily. So, that's it. Thank you guys so much. If you want to talk more, I have a Discord now. The link's in the description below. I like to talk about stuff there, get a little bit more in depth. I'm Pacific the Casual Gamer. I suck just as bad as you do at video games, and I'll see you guys in the next one.